All right, theme song. In 3, 2, 1. And welcome back to the Constitutionals podcast. I'm your host, Chad White. If you didn't know, this is the premier podcast for the website, cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. Welcome back. Episode 228 of this, the show you forgot to subscribe to. Hey, look at that. Almost a flawless opening segment to the show. What's been going on? Still dealing with this Mac. It's doing pretty well. Everything I read about it though, I know much about it. I know much about technology. And I think that was a title. We'll see. and I had to get the lowest tier Mac because that's what they had in the store because I needed it for that moment, or this moment, I guess, whatever. And I'm worried about the 8 gigs. You can't upgrade the gigs, the RAM in there. So that's the biggest worry. But other than that, it's been performing adequately, doing Chrome like I needed to, and OBS like it is doing now. One thing's for certain, it does not accept outside cameras to be used for FaceTime. So don't expect that to happen. So that's what I've been dealing with that. And then also some work stuff, which has been head-bangingly frustrating. We just change things in the middle of processes. It doesn't make sense to me. And then what else happened? Well, I guess I'm dancing around this. I'm not even dancing around it. Yesterday, Walmart, which is a store and brand I genuinely hate with a passion. It was mentioned on Tuesday that they were going to have PlayStation 5s in stock, and so I got the Xbox Series X in the summertime. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna try for this PlayStation 5. I don't need it. I don't have. And I was just thinking about this before I sat down to record this episode. I thought I don't have a lot of games that do have the free upgrade from PS4 to PS5 for like 60 frames per second and high fidelity graphics and all that stuff. But I said, you know what? They're all backwards compatible though, and it'll be nice. It'll be a nice thing to have, so I don't have to keep chasing this thing. And there's a chip shortage, and actually I think that same day, Tuesday, is when Sony said that they're still continuing to produce the PS4 because there are shortages of the PS5, and so I just but obviously it's PS4 is the best selling system of all time right now, so they might as well continue doing that. And then on the same foot, I guess, I don't know what's the saying. Who cares? What's the saying? Who cares? Okay, but on the same foot, in the same hand. Is that what I'm trying to say? It doesn't matter. On the same hand, the PS5 is I don't even know what I was trying to get at, but the PS5 is newer, and I guess that's what people want. Oh, I'm sorry, the PS2. So the PS4, highest selling console of all time, but the PS2 was, I believe, was still being sold for 10 years after its final date. I don't remember the time, and I don't care to look it up, but it was still being sold, and games were still being produced. Just like I believe in 2020, Just Dance was still producing, or Ubisoft was still producing Just Dance for the Wii. So it was like Just Dance 2020 was on the Wii or something like that. So things are still being developed for older systems, even as the next generation. I mean, we're a year into the next generation, so the exclusives are very scant, if there are any. So I decided to see if I can get a PS5, and so I put it on my calendar, and my calendar is full of it's like bills and then like meetings, and then friends' birthdays, and then just a bunch of BS like a go-to store to pick up this specific item, or this is going to be a sale on this day. And so that's what I did. So it was going to go on sale on Thursday, January 13th at 3 p.m. You had to sign up for Walmart Plus, which is their proprietary shopping thing that gives you deals and stuff. But you can't be on the trial. You actually have to pay. That was a whole thing. And the little backstory for the PS5, people have been trying to get this thing, just like the Xbox Series X, but and more so. They've been trying to get this thing ever since it came out, and pre-orders or whatever, and people are scalping them and selling them and all that stuff. And if without a bot or without a cunning drive or paying attention to Twitter accounts and sales like yesterday and everything, it's hard to get one, obviously. But you just put in just a little bit of effort, and then you can get one fairly and legally, and without having to pay more than list price plus tax. So 3 o'clock comes. I've already, an hour before, I already set up my Walmart Plus account. They took out the $13 from my debit account. And then I'm sitting here with the Mac. I've got 2 tabs open, one Firefox, one Chrome. My phone is open, and the iPad is open. So I have them all open, ready and willing to go, ready to go at 3 o'clock. And 2:59 hits. I go, all right, I got to pay attention. And then 3 o'clock hits, and I hit refresh on the Chrome, refresh on the Firefox, refresh on the phone, refresh on the iPad. Both the iPad and the phone don't get in. Firefox gets in, and Chrome surprisingly gets in, and they put me in line. They put me in line. I can continue shopping on Walmart.com for 12 minutes. That does not guarantee you a PS5, but it puts you in line for one. Firefox puts me in line for 20 minutes. And I go, all right, I'll take them both. And I'm signing on one account. So I wait the 12 minutes, and then it goes, hey, do you want this iPad? Do you want this PS5? You have 10 minutes to decide. There's a clock counting down. And I go, great. And then I put in my information, and I purchased a PS5. And it is coming on Tuesday, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited to finally have this thing now. No, I needed a mattress. I need a mattress. I need a new bed frame. But I said, no, I got to get this PS5. So yeah, that's what I did. I have a PS5. It's coming next week. And yeah, I remember when I got the Xbox, the guy, I think it was UPS that delivered it. Obviously I'm having it delivered directly to my apartment, but the guy who delivered it, I believe delivered it like in the middle of the night. It was like closer to my bedtime. It was like 8 o'clock or something like that. And I wake up at 4:30 to go to the gym. So I go to bed like 9:30. I try to at least. And I remember like setting it up that night too, just being excited, but like waiting all day. And I believe it was also delayed a day too. I believe so. All right. Anyway, but yeah. So that's that. Got a PS5. I'm excited. Can't wait to have no storage space for anything. 8 minutes. I just love mentioning how long it's been. So let's move on to the stories. This first one comes from The Verge, written by Ashley Carmen, who we know well. Spotify shuts down its namesake podcasting studio. God, I have to get like a mixer or something because I can barely hear myself. I'm going to turn myself up and okay, recording. So Spotify, if you didn't know, had its own podcasting studio. If for the past 2 or 3 years, it's been buying up other studios. It's been buying Gimlet. It's been or podcasts themselves. It's been buying Joe Rogan. Now, it says that Studio 4 or Spotify Studios is what people generally call it. That has about 10 to 15 employees and produce shows like Dissect and Chapo Kingpin on Trial is going to be closing down. They told them last week that next week is going to be the final, January 21st is going to be the final day that they'll be working in that studio. Spotify 4 wasn't really known, Studio 4 or Spotify Studios, we're going to call it Spotify Studios, wasn't really known outside of people who follow that sphere of podcasting and media management. And it was the first podcasting studio Spotify created and consisted of all the employees who worked on podcasting prior to the company's major network acquisitions. There are shows like Amy Schumer Presents, Three Girls, One Keith. Oh, I remember that. I remember that show. But listener interest showed shows like Amy Schumer Presents, Three Girls, One Keith are the shows that people liked. They didn't really like shows like Chapo, King Ben on Trial. So then Spotify purchased Parcast, Gimlet, and The Ringer. And then Studio 4 was the fourth studio. Spotify Studios. The employees took pride in their work. Spotify kind of put them on the back burner. And they never really championed Spotify Studios in the same way that they championed Gimlet or The Ringer. I don't know any shows on Parcast, so all the shows I get offered on Spotify are all from Gimlet. So Studios has been feeling kind of not appreciated, even though they're an internal organization. It's as if Disney's having the same issue with. Believe it or not, with Pixar, because Pixar's last 3 movies are releasing on Disney Plus, including the new Turning Red that's supposed to be coming out in March. It was supposed to be in theaters, but now it's headed to Disney Plus, and it's not Disney Plus Premiere, which I don't think they're going to do anymore. It's only Disney Plus. I guess Soul performed well enough, and the whatever came before that, but. Now Turning Red's there, and the people. Oh, Luca. That's right. Luca stunk. Oh, Jesus. Luca and The Good Dinosaur, the 2 worst Pixar movies. Like, I genuinely don't like those movies. And so Luca and Soul did well. These one-word titles, and now Turning Red's gonna have to go there because Omicron is like there's a new variant of the coronavirus, and. You know, just because Spider-Man made $1 billion in a pandemic doesn't mean, and it's mostly because, Dolby Digital costs $20 some odd. And again, I saw it in IMAX. It was a waste of money. I didn't pay for it. Also, I got charged for AMC A-List. That charged the whole $24. There's no movies in the theaters, and then if you pause it or if you quit it, you can't sign back up for 6 months. It's ridiculous. So now I'm out $23. I haven't seen a movie for like 2 or 3 weeks. It's ridiculous. Now I know how people at the beginning of the pandemic felt. So everybody on Pixar is feeling the same way that Spotify Studios employees are feeling. They're feeling left out. They're feeling underappreciated. Which makes sense. You work hard in this thing, and not many people are going to see, or, just because everybody has Disney Plus doesn't mean they're going to watch everything. So not many people are going to see it. Not many people, Spotify's case, you talked about Armchair Expert, you pushed that one out, but Dissect wasn't even heard by people. Isn't that frustrating to see? Spotify says more podcasts than ever on its platform. But an August Business Insider report said Gimlet itself had struggled to grow inside the tech company due to, quote, unclear strategy and, quote, internal tensions. It had the lowest numbers of all 4 studios in terms of consumption hours and leaked metrics for September 2020. Meanwhile, a Verge report found that Spotify's licensed exclusives, Joe Rogan's show specifically, might have lost a significant chunk of his audience in the move to the platform. Now, if you remember what I talked about this a long time ago, in that shows like Joe Rogan, Joe Budden's show, which he quit doing, and Dax Shepard's show, they're exclusives. So once they came to the platform, they were all delisted outside of Spotify. You can only listen to those shows inside of Spotify. And Joe Rogan's case in particular, you could, and I remember this Verge report, you could see the chart. They had charted data, where you could see the move where, in terms especially of like the YouTube or the Twitter subscriptions rather. If let's say my God, let's say I don't know, Elon Musk was on Joe Rogan, because I don't know who would go on that show in their right mind. I would not do it. Even if I was the most popular upcoming internet celebrity, I would not do that. But please let me be the most popular and upcoming internet celebrity. Please let me do it. But if you like, let's say Elon Musk was on the show, and let's pretend let's say he had 100 followers on Twitter, which is obviously not the case, but whatever. Let's pretend 100 followers is short for 10 million or whatever. So he had 100 followers on Twitter. He goes on Joe Rogan on the regular podcast feed. The video comes out on YouTube, and he gains, let's say, 50 more followers. Okay, that means he gained 50% more, like a crap ton of followers, and if that was millions. But with the show being on Spotify, and you have to listen on Spotify, whereas you have another podcast app where you typically listen, like say Apple Podcasts or Pocket Casts, then on Spotify he gains maybe 10 to 11 followers. Those numbers are skewed, but still. So Spotify is they're really a master of none when it comes to this audio game. I mean, just last week, people are the media outlets were asking, where is Spotify Hi-Fi, or whatever it's supposed to be called, which is supposed to be their high fidelity listening files and stuff, so you can listen to music in HD audio or whatever. Like Apple has mastered in Dolby and all that stuff. Where's Spotify's version? What is Tidal has high fidelity stuff. Where's Spotify's? And Spotify said in June, or in the summer, hey, look for it in a couple of months. And it's still not here. And then people were asking them so much, so they eventually said, listen, it's coming. We don't know when. So don't expect it this year, or anytime soon. It could just as easily drop next week. It could come in 6 months. But right now, Spotify is they're the one of the few tech unicorns to actually earn money and stop losing it. And they're probably the most subscribed to music service. Jumping into podcasts has really slowed them down. And I mean, being the one-stop shop for all your audio needs has been a confusing feat for them. Because I only see people complain about the podcasting being forefront within the app, and it is a frustrating thing to see, because I have Spotify pulled up here on the computer, and while I see Earl Sweatshirt's album that I listened to this morning is 24 minutes long, but while I see that there's a banner up top, I scroll down one line and I have my Good Afternoon, and it's got my playlist, my Taylor Swift playlist, my indie K-pop playlist. It's a true thing, and a bunch of other playlists. But then the next thing is podcasts, and I don't listen to podcasts on here, so all I'm seeing is what they think I would like, which is and then it's music, podcast. It's just something that no one wants to see if we use other better podcast apps. they're going to continue doing this. I think they should have splintered, into a different app called Spotify Podcasts or something like that, and always pointed to that instead of just using the main app, which people use for music or radio or playlists. Showing how different they could be. Like, ooh, look at me. I have an eclectic music taste. The dead pixel on this camera is quite frustrating to see. Hey, the next thing, this comes from Variety, written by Kevin Tran. This is something I found today. Data, how YouTube's dislike count removal could ding video engagement. Like I said, I just found this today. I'm not joking. I found this, we're 20 some odd, maybe 19 some odd minutes into the show. I found it about 21 minutes ago. So we're going to learn together. We're just going to skim over it. In an exclusive survey, certain YouTube users agreed that the dislike count removal makes them less likely to engage in videos on the platform. Issues with the dislike count removal appear to be more concentrated among heavy YouTube users rather than casual ones. Adding public dislike counts as a perk to YouTube Premium likely wouldn't greatly boost the appeal of a subscription podcast. So, Mr. Tran, yes, that is his last name. Mr. Tran has a nice chart. He's a good feature piece, but the first thing I see is a beautiful chart, beautiful pie chart. That's titled "Effect of YouTube's Dislike Count Removal on Viewership." So, YouTube removed the dislike count on videos maybe a month ago, maybe a month or two ago, and some YouTube users are vocal about it, and others don't care. A lot of people, the vocal ones, think that, YouTube videos with more dislikes. They think it's engagement. It is engagement, and they think that the example is I read was if you look up a video of like a how to fix your keyboard, your Casio keyboard. The first thing I look at in the corner here. How do you fix your Casio keyboard? And a video has 7 likes but 49 dislikes. Then you know not to watch that video. Which I understand that aspect of it. However, YouTube, and I don't agree with this buzz term, but YouTube took away dislikes, the showing of dislikes, because they think it's going to help. The company thinks it's going to help with mental health. And while I don't agree with that terminology, I do think that it's better in the long run. You don't need for instance, when people don't agree with a IGN or GameSpot video, they dislike it. They dislike the video, and they think, and then they comment in the section, in the comment section, you should kill yourself. Like they say things like that, and it's just, I think it's just a worthless, useless thing. If you don't like a video, then stop watching it. I like just this morning, I was at the gym and I was looking for TRX workouts, exercises for my biceps. And I was scrolling through Google, typed it in, scrolling through Google, couldn't find anything good, saw some YouTube videos. I clicked through 3 of them. The first one was a guy, and he was showing you the exercises, the variations, but music was playing over it that I quite frankly didn't like, and I could not hear his voice. I turned it down. I said, you know what? I don't want to watch that video. I'll watch the next video. Next video had great ones. The other video had great ones, and I didn't like it. I didn't dislike it. I just put both videos inside of my workouts folder or playlist, and so I could return to them later. And I just chose one, and I moved on with my day. There's no need to just dislike something because you don't like it. It's so stupid. Anyway, 5% of the users polled didn't know about it or didn't know how they felt. 3% said it makes me much more likely to watch videos. 2% said it makes me slightly more likely to watch videos. 49% said it makes no difference to how much I watch videos. 49%. 17% it makes me less likely to watch videos, and 24% says it makes me slightly less likely to watch videos. I mean, at what point? Like, do you just Google takes away anonymity on YouTube, and then people get mad and they have to use their Google Plus accounts to comment, and then they make fake accounts, and then Google returns back to anonymity, and then now they take away your ability to show how much you hate that somebody gave Pokemon Shining Pearl a 6 or a 7 and out of 10, and you go, ooh, too much what? Like, who cares? Who cares? You don't need comments. You don't need dislikes and likes. Get off of YouTube. Get off of Reddit. Go do something with your life. And then he has an engagement pie chart where, again, 43% said it makes no difference, but 19% said, 19 and 26% said it makes me slightly less likely to comment on or like/dislike, or it makes me slightly less likely, much less likely. So slightly and much, respectively. Like, who cares? If that's dependent on you watching videos, then go to Vimeo. Go to Funny or Die. 68% YouTube dislike count removals effect on video engagement. 68% said it makes no difference to how much I comment, or like, it just, if this no 66%, another chart, awareness of YouTube's dislike count removal. 66% had no idea. 34% said yes. Oh my gosh. There's no point. There's no point in saying, like, I mean, like MKBHD put out a video. A bunch of YouTubers have put out videos. I mean, in fact, like talking about how they don't like the system and how it's going to mess with their engagement. And I get that's how they make their money. But YouTube's giving you 10 other tools to make money. People can now give you money directly on the platform. They can subscribe to you. There's advertisers that can give you money. There's you can have a Patreon. You can sell stuff. You can sell merch. You can sell services. I mean, there's so many more ways to make money. And if you want to engage with your talent, then, or with your viewers, your audience, then engage through encourage comments to come in the comment section. Encourage discussion in the comment section. Encourage discussion on your actual page on YouTube. To if it's all about YouTube, then keep it on YouTube. And if you want the conversation outside, then build a website. Go to Squarespace. A lot of them have Squarespace as an advertiser. Go to Squarespace. Develop a Twitter following. Do it on Instagram, or do polls. Make shorts on YouTube. Make shorts on TikTok. There's so many different ways. Just to say, like, I understand. I get it. I know where they're coming from. But there's no point in just going, I need them to tell me if this video is bad or not with the thumbs up or thumbs down. Get rid of it all. Let's move on. This is a story I pulled over from last week, which is a story I pulled over from what was supposed to be the last episode of the Constitutionals. No, this is December 30th. No. Yeah, December 30th. This is when it was posted. So it was supposed to be from last week's episode, regardless. Hey, let's take. Oh my gosh, it turned off on me again. But hold on, we'll take a break, and when we come back, we're gonna figure out what's going on with this God blessing camera. Okay, we're gonna go be back. Look at that. Oh no! You know what I forgot to do was arm the recording. So here we go. We're gonna do it again. Let's do it right now. And we are back with the show. The rest of this final story comes from Michael Schneider over at Variety. Most watched television networks rankings 2020, ranking 21-21's winners and losers, baby. So there's some winners, there's some losers with the ratings as usual. You know, I will say, without even looking at the list right now, because I haven't looked at this in probably about 3 or 4 weeks, I believe that Yellowstone is going to be on there. Yellowstone is nominated for it was nominated for the Golden Globes, I believe, or a Golden Globe, I like the Golden Globes, not the regular Golden Globes. Okay, so let's talk about the winners right now. Sports networks saw a very large increase over the last year because they were gone for a large part of 2020, and now 2021 we have seen a huge percentage jump. TNT 10%, ESPN 11%, average of 1.6 million viewers in prime time. ESPN2 48%, Fox Sports 25%, NBC Sports Network 17%, NFL 32%, MLB 45%, NBA 71%. Those are all networks jumps. And golf and tennis also saw a respective 12% and 34%, even though Tennis Network was taken off of YouTube TV, and I was one of the people watching it. What an interesting jump for all these whatchamacallits. And you know what? I think it's a very good thing that those were able to jump, because I started watching more sports. Not that I missed it or anything, but I just felt, why not get the most out of this YouTube TV thing. And it was good it's good to see that places like TNT and ESPN even are taking more care with their sports. They're opening up conversations. During the pandemic, obviously they had Black Lives Matter and Stop Asian hate, AAPI hate, and movements of that sort, and those were topics that they were avoiding for the past forever, and now that they're being forced to talk about it, race and even and sex even and gender, it's crazy that it took like people getting hurt and dying and discrimination for people for these companies to allow, that's what it is, really allow for their workers to talk about this stuff freely. And I think about that all the time, that ESPN was never when Colin Kaepernick was taking a knee, and it was all, and Black Lives Matter was just kind of just not on the surface of ESPN's ratings and everything. And then came the middle of the pandemic. They had to talk about this stuff because it was the conversation. It is the conversation. So it's nice to see these sports networks finally embrace the world around them and not just go, hey, this is a bunch of people hitting balls and throwing goals and stuff. And it can really be part of the conversation. CBS and NBC also tied. This is very interesting to see, because I did not expect to see this. Sports were a huge factor. CBS had the Super Bowl. NBC had the delayed Summer Olympics, and the Winter Olympics will be starting next month. And NBC ended up 9% in 2021, and 7% in total viewers, and 7% in adults 18 to 49. While CBS was flat in viewers and up 1% 18 to 49, but again, CBS is the highest rated broadcast network. There's another winner, but I don't know what this is. Losers. News and opinion networks. So even though Fox News was sadly the highest rated cable news network, all of them were down. Every single one of them were down. Fox was down 34%, MSNBC 28%, and CNN 38%. Business channels experienced similar slumps. Fox Business Network down 48%, and CNBC was down 13%. Here's a little tidbit about me. I watch CNBC every morning. I come home from the gym. I turn on Squawk Box. I sit down. I don't sit down. I stretch. I feed the cat. I feed myself. You can see her. If you're watching the video, you can see She's over there in the lounge chair. She's that little brown dot. Can I focus in on that? Let's see. There she is. Yeah, she is. Okay. Anyway. I don't know if I ruined the focus or I didn't. I probably did. Who cares? Look, if you're watching the video, you're getting a whole treat. If you're not, you're just hearing me sound like a moron. But it only makes sense that they were down because Trump wasn't in office, and so that affected everybody. Truly, it was like people were at the collective sigh, like we don't have to watch this crap anymore. And the people on the left weren't watching MSNBC and CNN, trying to make sense of what was going on in the world as much. And then people on the right weren't trying to decide if they were going to be super racist or mega racist. So there we go. And then also a lot of networks decided to rebrand. WGN America became News Nation, which is basically Fox News for cheap. And then GAC Family, which began as Great American Country, but then became a lifestyle-oriented network, much in the vein of Hallmark. And I believe that GAC Family started doing Christmas movies this year, to compete with Hallmark, and it actually started bringing over Hallmark's A-list names. And by A-list, I mean, Q-list actors. No offense to them. They've got careers, they're working, and they're doing what they love. So I can't really make fun of them. So News Nation fell 79% from 223,000 viewers to 46,000 in prime time. That is bad. 223,000 is about what Crazy Ex-Girlfriend did on the CW, which was fine for the CW. But 46,000 viewers in prime time is not good. That is not good for a network. Now, News Nation, I don't believe, is available throughout the entire United States. However, that is still horrible. And I worked for a local network that is only available in like 5 or 6 states. And, oh boy, those numbers, the numbers from there do not compare. I still hate that company, and I hope everybody there suffers greatly. Just joking. Anyway. GAC Family dropped 33%. And again, I'll just I'm going to go through. You can see you can click through and read on this chart yourself. But here are the networks that did well. I'm going to give you the top 20. CBS, NBC, ABC, Fox News, ESPN, MSNBC, Univision, which did have a decline. There's a decline in a lot of these. HDTV, Hallmark, CNN, TNT, Ion, Telemundo, TBS and TLC tied, History Channel, Discovery Channel, USA Network, Food Network. And again, a lot of those had declines. Like Discovery fell 11%, while TNT jumped up 10% because of sports, and ESPN jumped up 11% because of sports. And it's interesting to just scroll through this list and see where a lot of basic cable networks are sitting and where a lot of premium cable networks are sitting. For instance, Adult Swim is counted by itself and not with Cartoon Network. Same thing for Nick at Night. And they both sit at 41 and 44, respectively. While Nickelodeon is doing worse than Nick at Night. It's only a couple numbers down. OWN had a drastic drop, and Disney Channel is even lower than Nickelodeon. And don't quote me on this. Yeah, Cartoon Network is also lower than Disney Channel. Oh, man, that's interesting. I think these numbers are very cool to see. Pop TV, which aired Schitt's Creek and canceled a bunch of great comedy shows over there, it dropped 23%. And quite frankly, I don't see Viacom CBS keeping that around any longer. I think at some point in the next year, I think Pop TV will be will be cut short. I think cable's going to get a lot more lean in the next couple of years, and so that the cable companies that are still around can sell cable packages to older generations that prefer to use cable packages still. I think that's what's going to happen. That's just my prediction. I'm not an analyst or anything. And again, I said this is very true, and I'm going to keep reiterating this, that I said when Netflix started streaming and I had the DVD service, I said, no one's going to want to watch streaming TV. I said, no one can watch. The Weather Channel company I worked for is up 4%. Antenna TV, which remember the company that I worked for before, it's not. The channel that I worked for, I don't even think is on here. No, it is. It is. I just can't find it. Nope, that's not it. It doesn't matter, but I do want to find it. I think they jumped up, which is congratulations for them. Boomerang's down 16%. Vice is up 11, tied with Disney XD at 101 it's at letter marking number 101. Okay, anyway, that's it. That's all I got for you. That's a bunch of numbers that you can go check out for yourself. Listen, if you like what you heard here, head to the website cpluscomedy.com, where you can see so many great things like interviews with their favorite comedians and other stuff like this. If you want to see the video version of the show, youtube.com/cpluscomedy, where you can see me sitting on my desk wearing a Peloton shirt with some snacks behind me. The cat's over there, and the sun is setting, baby. Also on youtube.com/cpluscomedy is the premiere show of News Time. This week's episode is about, actually I just recorded it too. This week's episode is about the Golden Globes and what happened this ceremony. Let me tell you, not a lot. You can also go to Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at C Plus Comedy. Me on Twitter, Instagram, at Chad Black White. Tell your friends to subscribe to the show, rate, review it. Apple iPodcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, TuneIn, wherever you get your podcasts. That's where you can find this show, baby. Tell your friends about it. Do it. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.